congratulate everybody, including myself, I guess, because this is the first time I heard this has happened. So we're making history here. That's a way to start things off on the right foot, I guess.
Hey, Devon, I don't know if our mics are on.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just how surprised were you? This is Scott Bordeaux from The Athletic. How surprised were you that that Detroit released you? And once that happened, was Arizona always kind of foremost in your mind?
It was a big surprise. I wasn't expecting it at all. Kind of came out of nowhere, and I wasn't sure what the interest was. I wasn't thinking about any other teams or any circumstances at all. So, my agent and I kind of just regrouped when that happened, and started to see where we were from there.
Hey, Devon, Mark McClune from Arizona's family. Welcome home. How much was playing for the Cardinals kind of always in the back of your mind?
It's funny. I was talking to some of my buddies I grew up here with and played high school ball with, and we'd always have conversations like how cool it would be if I played for the Cardinals one day and all of those things. But it's one of those things you didn't think would actually, happen, and what are the chances type of deal. So when it did, it was just kind of like, wow, and it's still kind of like setting on me even now, like thinking about the fact that I'll be home and family and friends will be able to come to games, and just what the day-to-day is going to look like for me. I'm used to being gone majority of the year, so it's going to be cool, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, Devon. Josh Wayne-Phillips with ESPN. What was so attractive about coming here in terms of the football product on the field, the teammates?
I think what they're building here is really special. The guys on the team got a chance to I know a few and got a chance to meet some this offseason, even before I signed here. And I think it's a young team with a lot of opportunity. I like what the, Coach Kingsbury is doing here, and I'm excited about the direction of the program and what we'll be able to accomplish this year.
Hey, Devon, it's Kyle Odegaard, azcardinals.com. Wondering how you deal with this uncertain time mentally and physically, trying to figure out, this might not be the typical offseason for football.
Yeah, it's definitely changed for everybody. But, everyone's going through it, and you got to kind of just adjust and figure out what's going to work for you, and do the best you can to prepare yourself mentally and physically, because hopefully at the end of this, we're still going to have, a season. So, you still have to kind of adjust and be ready and be prepared mentally and physically for that.
Hey, DK, Colin Harmon with ABC 15 Sports. How much do you lean on your dad for advice, and what was his reaction to you coming home, and you guys will have both played for the same franchise now?
My dad was super excited. He couldn't believe it. I remember when I first mentioned it to him, he was like, really? Like, no way. It's just the fact that, father and son being able to play for the same organization. I don't know how many times that's happened, but, I'm sure it's not that common. So to have that kind of opportunity and for it to be home where, my family lives and everything is really cool.
DK, Darren Urban from azcardinals.com. I'm curious, and you kind of touched on how this is kind of a weird time for everybody, but you've been through free agency before. Has this been a lot different? Do you feel like the conversations are all the same in terms of, what teams are trying to sell you and them talking about your role, or is that muted more because of everything that's going on in the world?
I haven't had a lot of time to speak with the coaches and things because of how the rules are set up. Got to speak to, them shortly during free agency, but that was pretty brief. So I don't, I'm looking forward to figure out the exact plan and get the playbook and those kind of things. But, right now it's kind of surface level, just quick conversations with them and to get a feel. But, I am excited. I got a chance to speak to the coaches, and I'm looking forward to what's ahead.
Devon, you had 7 sacks each of the last 2 years. Did Detroit use you more as an edge rusher than maybe other teams have previously in your career?
Absolutely. It was playing in Detroit was the first time I got to rush more often. And even with that said, I was I think I was top 2 or 3 outside linebacker. I dropped more than like any outside linebacker in the league. Or I was in like the top 2 or 3. So I still dropped, a lot more than most guys in my position. But it was definitely the first opportunity I've had to rush more regularly. And that was something that I was grateful for being there. And I want to continue to progress with coming here.
Devon, it's Bob McManaman from the Arizona Republic. What's the excitement level to be playing opposite a guy like Chandler Jones, and what kind of opportunities can arise from that?
Being able to play alongside Chandler, I was actually, when I was in Detroit last year, it was in the middle of the year, and I was on like Good Morning Football, and I mentioned I think he was Defensive Player of the Year at the time. I think he's a heck of a player. I've got a chance to meet him a couple of times. Just the energy he brings, I can only imagine what he's like in the locker room and in the position room. So I'm excited to be around, the type of caliber of player he is, and I'm going to be picking his brain and hopefully, cause some problems on the other side of him.
Hey, DK, it's Jordan Ham with Sports 360 AZ. Just how did Desert Vista shape you into the player and person you are today?
Desert Vista played a huge part of my life. That's where I went to high school. I still have some of the same best friends that I grew up with playing ball with, and still have a good relationship with Coach Hines. I got married a few weeks back, and he was at my wedding. And going to Desert Vista, my brother was able to coach me my whole high school career. So, and he still coaches the D-line at Desert Vista now. So it's a pivotal point, and I feel like it helped progress my career so much, being able to be coached by my brother, being able to play for that school, and it just kind of launched my career going to USC and beyond.
Devon, did you have other offers after you were released by Detroit, or did this come together really quickly?
There was other teams of interest, but things progressed quickly. Once I was released with the Cardinals, and there was interest from both sides, and we ultimately got it done.
Devon, this is Charlie Lapastora with Fox 10 Sports. First of all, congratulations on on coming back home to the Valley. And congratulations, you said you just got married, so congrats on that, man.
Thank you.
Just wondering, yes, sir. So just wondering what you're most looking forward to in this system, this defensive system already in place, and with this personnel that you're arriving with.
To be honest, man, I got to learn the system. I haven't. Times are a little weird now. I haven't got a chance to get a playbook or really dive in with the coaches. So it's not. I can't sit here and act like I know a ton of, scheme of what exactly is going to be going on and how we're used. I'm ready. I'm preparing myself mentally and physically, and however they want to use me, whatever they want me to do, I'm going to make sure I'm prepared. And I want to help us win. I want to win games and do everything I can to put us in position to do so.
Did they tell you?
You mentioned your coverage skills. This team had a lot of trouble covering tight ends last year. Would you consider that one of your strengths as a defensive player?
I'm going to be I imagine I'll be, rushing and on the line of scrimmage a lot more than man-to-man covering people. I don't think that's not that I can be in coverage, and I am in coverage, but playing man-to-man on tight ends down after down, it's not really my thing.
Did they play yet? And when did they tell you when you'll be able to study it?
It's a fluid situation. I'm not really sure how all of that's gonna play out. I know as soon as I get the green light to go into the facility and get the playbook and be able to start watching film, I'm going to do so. But I mean, your guess is as good as mine of how this is going to work with the corona. But I'm here in the Valley, and when I get a chance to go over there and I get the green light, I can do so. I'll be there that day.
How do you, with the way that this is going with the coronavirus and so many things being shut down, as a pro athlete, how do you train right now? I know you wouldn't be in the facility probably anyways because of the off-season rules, but you'd have a gym to go to, you'd have a trainer to go. How does that happen now?
You have to adjust, luckily have an at-home gym to where I can get some work done. And, I have trainers that I like to work with, and my brother trains me a lot. So I'll be able to work with him, isolated, just us two in private settings. So, you just make do with what you can. You got to do the best you can to protect yourself. But, I'm also trying to prepare the best I can to have a big year this year. So, you figure it out. I mean, that's another fluid situation. You do the best you can with the parameters that we're all living under right now.
Devon, what was your reaction to the DeAndre trade? Obviously, that was before you signed, but it seemed to kind of send some shockwaves through everybody in the NFL, no matter what team you're on.
I mean, to be honest, I couldn't believe it. I was like, how the heck did that happen? DeAndre is an incredible player, so I'm excited to hopefully get a chance to get to know him. And I have a ton of respect. I remember when I was in Detroit, and we actually played there. We're practicing against them last camp, and the matchups. It was fun to watch on film. The matchups between him and Slay. So got a chance to watch him a little bit because of that, and I'm excited for him to be my teammate, and I'm glad he's on my team. You know what I mean?
Devon, what do you remember from your dad's career?
What'd you say?
What do you remember of your dad's career in the NFL?
I was really young when my dad played, so I don't remember a ton. But something that's always stuck out is when he won the Super Bowl here in the Valley, and the picture of me on my dad's shoulders, like that's something I still remember. And growing up, when you win the Super Bowl, you can get one of the customized Super Bowl trophies. So we have one in my house growing up, and I remember I'd invite friends over and take it out of the shelf and show my friends, and that's still a cool thing. But I was so young, I can't act like I remember a ton. You know what I mean?
What were your impressions of playing against
your dad let
Tyler?
you take it off the shelf and play with it?
He didn't always know.
Hey, Devon, what were your impressions of playing against Kyler week 1, and then how did you kind of see him progress throughout the season?
I mean, it was tough. Whenever you're playing a new quarterback week 1, especially coming out of college, the only thing we could watch was college tape. So we would kind of and then it was a new head coach too with Coach Kingsbury. So it was like we're kind of piecing together what we think their offense was going to look like and trying to figure out. But it jumped on film the athlete he was, the arm he had, the ability, and then mixed in with Coach Kingsbury offense, we knew it was going to be problematic and lethal. And I think they showed that to be true. Him earning Rookie of the Year and all of those things. It's a testament to the player he is.
You were a captain the last couple of years in Detroit. What kind of leadership can you bring to this locker room? How much can you be in that realm?
For me, I'm going to be myself. I think I pride myself on being consistent. Even with you guys, I'm going to be the same person every day. I work hard, and I'm going to take that hard hat mentality to work every day and everything that I do. And I want to earn the respect of my teammates and my coaches that way, organically by my consistency, the type of player I am, being accountable, and knowing that they can rely on me and count on me to be where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there, on the field and off. And I think that's where it starts. And bring energy. And I want to help us win. So everything I can to put that, make that priority, and being selfless in that way to put the team first and figure out ways to help us win. That's who I've always been, and that's who I'm going to continue to be. And hopefully I can earn my teammates and coaches respect like I have in the past.
DK, Greg Moore, Arizona Republic, welcome to town and welcome home.
Thanks.
How do you plan to handle ticket requests? I hear that can get out of hand for hometown guys.
I'm nipping that in the bud right now. Immediate family, I'll take care of them. But everybody else, y'all better get season tickets right now, because we're not doing that. We are not doing that.
DK, with growing up here in the Valley.
In Arizona.
Sorry, you guys are cutting in.
All right, I'll go. DK, growing up here in the Valley, and now that you're back. All right, thanks. And now that you're back, what do you think maybe your influence can be on, DV kids, of kind of, I was one of you, and look where I'm at now?
Hopefully it inspires some kids in the valley. You know, I'm no different than any of them. I grew up right in Ahwatukee area, went to Desert Vista, and you know, worked hard and made my dreams come true. And there's no reason why any kid in the valley can't go out and do the same thing. You know, I hope I can motivate kids that way. And you know, being able to get out in the community, that's really important to me. I want to, when all this Corona stuff dies down, find organizations. I've always been, always try to tether myself to organizations that's centered around youth and mentorship and education. So, you know, I hope to find those type of organizations here in the Valley and you know, get involved, you know, when all this Corona stuff dies out.